joining. My name is Jeff Krueger, and I'm the Business Development Manager here at Versatile Distribution Services. Today, VDS is excited to host Facilis Technology as they present Hub Shared Storage, FastTracker Asset Management, and Edge Sync. Now, just a quick note before we get started, the webinar is being recorded and will be made available on our YouTube channel. Anytime during the presentation, feel free to type your questions in the chat window and they'll be answered during Q&A at the end. With that, I'm very pleased to introduce Shane Rodbourn, COO and Senior VP, and Jim McKenna, Product Evangelist. Shane, over to you.
Thanks, Jeff. It's a pleasure to talk with you today as we continue our partnership with Versatile Distribution Services. We're all looking forward to a strong 2021 as the recovery continues. I'll jump right into the next slide here. Our Facilis Hub Shared Storage is really built for collaboration. That includes Facilis Shared File System, which optimizes data delivery to workstations and enables unique features as well. We also have integrated cloud access, which has Object Cloud and Facilis Edge. That gives you drag and drop archiving and restore, remote desktop synchronization, and various other features. We're very excited about these products, and they've been very helpful during the pandemic. So if you want to learn more about those, we'll get into those shortly. And lastly, we have our FastTracker Asset Management solution, which has many features that started out as just a tracking solution, but has really evolved into a fully fledged asset management tool, and Jim will get into those details. As most of you know, Facilis has been building shared storage solutions since 2003, with a vision to bring affordable, advanced network shared storage to content creation professionals. We have industry veterans with decades of facility and manufacturing experience. We offer turnkey solutions from one company, so it's one throat to choke. Call us with all your questions and needs, including all the hardware and software. And really, it's about simplicity and ease of use. Those are our key benefits. We're extremely fortunate to have built a strong customer base with thousands of systems in the field today. We serve the various segments of the media and entertainment market, which include video, audio, post-production, broadcast news, education, corporate video, advertising, house of worship, government, sports, live events, animation, and video surveillance. These are just a few of the customers that we showcase. Facilis authorized resellers are really our lifeblood. We think of resellers as an extension of our sales team. We want to work closely with you together with VDS to provide workflow consultation, configuration assistance, and proposals. So if you have any questions on pricing, configuration, workflows, customer-focused demos, please contact us. Support renewals are a big part of what Facilis does. It really allows the customers to access the latest software and have access to our industry veterans if they have any questions or concerns. So work on those support renewals. That's really a important part of what we do. We have a reseller tools site, and there's an updated sales guide, so we encourage you to take a look at that. We've just recently updated that. And we offer technical and sales training on an as-needed basis. So if you have any specific training needs for your organization, please do contact us. We'll set up an individual training session, whether it be technical focused or on the sales side. We're also updating our certification training as well. Here's the deal registration link. Please use this if you have any deal registrations, and that will tie into our sales rebate incentive program. Sales rebate incentive program is available for the Americas, and we encourage everyone to participate in that. That's it for the reseller section. Now I'll turn it over to Jim McKenna, our product evangelist and chief marketing officer. Jim?
Hey Shane, thanks a lot, and thanks everybody for coming on board today. I know that this is a rehash for a lot of people who are with me on a regular basis doing some customer-focused demos and presentations, but it's good to get once in a while a step back and look at exactly how we're selling the product and really where we're having the best success in the market as we are. And Shane mentioned support renewals. You guys have been great getting those support renewals out to us. It's a really easy thing to do. It enables you to go and talk to the customer again once a year, see what their latest needs are. We've been pretty flexible during the pandemic and keeping keeping people, with supports and keeping people with what they need to keep the business going. But yeah, please let us know anytime you have a problem with someone who you think should be on support, think should be covered, and for some reason isn't or can't, for any period of time. We can help you out with that. So I want to go over just some of the things that if you're new to Facilis or haven't talked to us for a little while. There's a lot of new things out there. I can't go through everything, in 15 or 20 minutes here, but the old chestnut of like, hey, there's NAS and there's SAN, and then Facilis fits somewhere in the middle. That's the way it was 10 years ago. Now we're more like, Facilis fits across most of what NAS and SAN can do, and we add additional features to that and add additional resources for the editors and creative people to be able to use and track and archive and move files from place to place in file-based workflows. And we just carry just enough of the functionality to keep all the bugs away. So the buggy stuff that's in NAS, the buggy stuff that's in SAN that we don't like, the incompatibilities, the issues with protocols and cross-platform and permissions and all these things, we sort of jettison those things and maintain all the good stuff that you know of, from network attached storage devices, SAN devices with block storage, and all of these things happening all at the same time. I think that Facilis is really unique in our ability to support both fiber channel and Ethernet clients simultaneously on the same volumes, even as a failover protocol. So if I start off with 16 gig fiber channel, I can fail back to 10 gig Ethernet on the same desktop, which is pretty unique and really doesn't happen much in the field today. So I wanted to get into what is Facilis today. Facilis today is truly differentiated. From the way I look at the network systems right now out in the field, there's nothing else quite like what we do. And differentiation is really key, because anyone I'm talking to today who has ever had someone go off and build their own NAS, after you've pitched them a value-added solution, or someone go off and just do something, like buy a lower-end system because you really couldn't just sell the value of what you were trying to pitch into that facility, even though you knew it was the best solution for them. To be differentiated like Facilis means that we can overcome those obstacles. We can overcome the obstacles of, I can just go off and build this myself. No, you can't. You can't get anywhere close to building this yourself. This is a multi-platform, network or block-attached custom shared file system. This is not network-attached storage. So all of the things that we do in our feature set really comes right back to that. It comes right back to the idea that you can't just go out and buy a NAS and do these things. Our storage tech is unique. It always has been. We have a virtualization at the block level, so we don't ever lose performance as the system gets full. And that's something that still, go find somebody else that does that. And as 200 and 300 terabyte systems become commonplace, you're talking about maybe 40, 60 terabytes that are less usable because they're over 80% full on the volumes. And that's not something that most customers want to deal with. We have inter-server mirroring, all this dynamic things we can do with multiple servers together, the things that NBC Universal and Sony Pictures are doing with multiple head units, aggregators, multiple servers mirroring each other on multiple NICs and multiple switches. We can have everything up and down the line redundant now with no single point of failure. And we have storage tiering with our SSD and flash storage up to our hard drives, to the point where we can actually tier SSD to be read and then hard drives to be written, and you can break that mirror and then reassemble and do all the things you need to do for storage tiering within your flash to hard drive storage. And these things are unique, as well as our integrations. Integrations that we have now, we didn't write the software behind our LTO, our cloud storage, our cloud caching. That's Zendata. You may be familiar with them. They're a Windows-based software that utilizes Windows and NTFS for a lot of what they do. And because we're a Windows server, we have a pretty unique opportunity to take hold of some of these and leverage some of this technology, which is exactly what we've done. We've sold a lot of LTO and a lot of cloud storage as a single point of purchase through Facilis for both the LTO, the libraries, the software, the licensing, the cloud storage itself, in reselling Wasabi. We've done a lot of that for our customers over the past couple of years, and it keeps going. And that's a unique integration. No one else can do exactly what we do, having a cache volume that represents your cloud storage and your LTO storage all in one place as a directory structure, like any other volume that you have in your system. So incredibly unique in that way, and really the easiest way to deploy that type of cloud and LTO within a shared storage environment. Our tool sets are unique and our workflows are unique. The ability for us to simply add a FastTracker index onto your network and then proxy directly to the cloud through our cloud caching integration. Our lost file tracking, the ability for us to determine when a file is duplicated and know when a file has been copied from place to place, know when a file has been moved from one folder to the other, and be able to report that to you within the record of the FastTracker database. So we'll find your lost files and we'll enable you to see when your storage is being used up by a lot of duplicate files as well. That's the kind of thing that we wanted to have FastTracker do. It started off as a tracking application, like Shane was mentioning. It went into much more of an asset management application, but we still want to have that basic, track your files where they are, be able to make the best use of the storage that you have, and be able to find the files that you need when you need them. And that's the basic and the simplest part of asset management that we can offer. We also have offline transcription starting up in 3.7, as well as some other features I'll show you, like web access from home and remote systems. So let's get into now how our resellers succeed. And what I've seen over the past few years is the resellers that have done really well with us, they do a few things that other resellers may not. And I always push these things when I get into an opportunity where I think it might help. First thing is, let's go apples to apples. Let's figure out exactly what you would need with that solution to provide exactly what you can get with us at a much lower price point at an integrated level, without having to go to multiple manufacturers, because even though we utilize some partner software, you buy it through us. You buy the licenses through us, and we're responsible for supporting that software. So a lot of systems out there are going to require a lot of a la carte services, a lot of a la carte other manufacturers or additional costs in order to do what we do as a benefit of the system just out of the box. We're storage first, and we've always been storage first. Our storage tech is unique. It's the best out there, from the virtualization to the shared file system. Some of the things I'll explain in a minute that we have that are just such great differentiators on the storage side. Storage, networking, how the clients and server react to each other and how they integrate with each other is extremely unique. So start with that. So unless the customer is coming to you with an archive or a MAM requirement, they're coming to you with a storage requirement. So start with storage and then add on the MAM and archive on top of that after you've sold the value of what this thing really is and what it can do for you in a storage technology sense. We find that we have a lot of luck, and unfortunately, a lot of resellers have, profit around services, and that, of course, you need to have that these days. Professional services are very important, but when it comes to a customer who doesn't have the budget for it, or is feeling like they're being pinched a bit, you don't need those professional services with us. We've shown time and time again that we can drop ship onto a customer site and have them up and running in a couple hours remotely. And especially in this year with the pandemic, we found that it's been so useful for us to be able to bypass a lot of the traditional on-site services that you'd normally have, and our system starts up and runs and gets them working immediately. That's an important thing to remember, is you can go there if you need to. And definitely get a demo. Call me up, send me an email, send Jeff an email, send Kelly or Shane an email, and let them know you want to get your customer in front of Facilis, the manufacturer, so they can say exactly what we do. Now, we're not going to design the workflow for you. We're not going to tell them how to work. We're going to present the tools to you that's going to enable them to design their workflow. And that's the most important thing, is the idea that they think they know how they want to work. We're going to give them some direction based on the tool sets that we have, and the rest of it you can figure out, and value-add reseller can help them figure that out as well with the tool sets that we can offer. But we have such a better close rate when we get a demonstration or presentation in cooperation with the reseller and the distributor than we do if we don't. So some of the things that we can show on demonstrations and within a presentation are things that you can't get with network attached storage. A really simple way, and something very simple that I found that a lot of people have been very interested in, is that in large facilities, the ability to control what's being mounted on what workstation. It seems so simple, but back when I was at Postworks in New York in 20 years ago, I had to have my guys run around every night, unmount the volumes that weren't being used from the Unity, and mount the ones for the next morning for the session. And you can do that all from one location now. Push and pull volumes from workstations and to workstations that you need, and create volumes, push them onto a workstation. Even now with VPN, push them onto someone's home workstation if you want to. And that's all available within the simple admin console, browser-based admin console. Connection discovery and failover, the ability to fail over from multiple connection types and the ability to find the server on the network is extremely important. It keeps everything simplistic. You don't have to worry about, you know, setting up all your IPs and setting up everything at the client side. You install the software, it finds a server, and you're ready to go. The simplicity that's maintained by that helps a lot of facilities to just get up and running so much more quickly. User account management. I can have a local user account, OS login. I can have a user and password that we keep, and we can stay autonomous with our user and password lists. Or we can just go Active Directory, Open Directory. We can use cloud-based LDAP services if we want to. And all of those things just make it more flexible for our customers to pass these TPN audits and pass those MPAA audits. Make sure that their project volumes and their file systems are dedicated to individual projects and jobs and client video, and they don't have everything mixed up together or permissions that are out of whack. We make it really easy for our customers to manage those permissions. In case you didn't know, in version 8, we went into a RAID 6. Now we call it RAID 6, but it's RAID 6++. So, you know, just talking about RAID 6 wouldn't be a big deal. The fact that it's software-defined RAID 6 on a per volume basis, and I could be either single drive, 2 drive, 3, or even 4 drive failure on a single drive set on a per virtual volume basis, that's pretty unique. And it really obsoletes the idea of hot spares. Because the reason you have a hot spare is because you can't tolerate too many drive failures. So you're going to have a drive that's constantly spinning there and doing nothing for you until something fails. Well, if I can do 3 or 4 drive failures, why do I have hot spares? Because it makes it so much more simple just to say, well, just you fail a drive, you got plenty of time because you have 3 more that can fail. And so that's something that's really unique that we introduced in version 8. And I don't think everyone realizes exactly how difficult that is to do. And we nailed it. We nailed it as of version 8.07 at this point. Extremely reliable, extremely high performance, and doing great in the field. Bandwidth monitoring and priority, something that we can do on a per workstation basis. I can set up people to be normal, low priority, or high priority to be sure that that high priority client always has the bandwidth they need should the server have an issue. Should the server have an issue where it can't produce all the bandwidth required for the requests, it's going to prioritize bandwidth based upon that list. And it's something so simple. You can't do this in a network attached storage system unless you get into the switch and do quality of service or do port-based monitoring and port-based link speeds. I mean, it's so simple to press a button and just say, I want to be high priority today. We have server roles, aggregator, fallback, normal server or storage only server behind an aggregator. Aggregator and fallback could be 2 mirrored servers. One goes away, the other one's there ready to pick up the client request and serve that data back out again. IO bandwidth. This is IO balance is something we did at a very low level of the system, which allows you to tweak the system's balance between reads and writes. So if you do have, a shoot coming in, if you have something coming in from the studio, if you're capturing a live feed, any of those reasons that you need to be able to have write speeds guaranteed, we're going to up the write priority. So across the facility, reads will not win over writes, and I can do the reverse. I can do verify priority for drive recovery. All kinds of little tweaks we can do, and these are all the software-defined things that we can provide as a company for our storage system. Now, when you get beyond that, you get into asset management, you get into cloud storage. So just to really quickly go over the features here that you may not have seen for 3.7 version of FastTracker, we have a secure browse view, which means that anything that's been indexed in the entire system is going to show up as a browsable area, folders and files and volumes, and you're going to see only what's in the catalog that you have permission to see. So it's not just here's everything like a standard browser would be. It's here's everything that you have access to. We can proxy on demand. We can proxy on automatically. We can send up multiple proxies, a preview as well as an HD proxy. We can do a timecode burn-in on proxy, either on demand or automatically. And all this is happening on the server itself. It doesn't require a separate server to do this. And the reason we can do this is because we control all of the applications that are running. We're always sure that a proxy encode or any kind of other operation going on with the asset management system isn't going to interrupt the sharing mechanism of the server and our ability to maintain shared storage activity. We can do file movements. We can do copies now from folder basis or multi-files or single files to backup to cloud to LTO to any of the places that the FastTracker is integrated with. Duplicate file tracking. This is that lost file tracking I was talking about, to where we're going to find the file that you don't think is there anymore, because we're going to go, and when we index that file system again, we're going to find that file because we do a binary hash on every file that we index, and we're sure that even if you change the name of it, it's the same file. So how many projects have been screwed up because someone changed the folder name or someone changed the file name and you couldn't find it anymore? Well, we're going to find it for you. We're going to show it to you in the same record along with the other files that we've tracked, other file locations we've tracked for that record. Commenting, keyword tags, all the simple stuff you're supposed to get with an asset management system. All this is searchable, of course, with advanced and savable searches now. Drop down tag data, if you have all the same, information you commonly use for a tag, that's easy. Time-based transcription, new for 3.7. This is a localized offline transcription. You don't need to send the data up to the cloud for this to happen. We're going to give you a transcription on a marker basis or on a time code basis, time-based transcription. You double click on it, it goes to the part of that clip where it says it. That's what you want. You bring that into your project. You can also do markers here as well, and all this information moves over to Adobe through our new import function in 3.7 in our Adobe panel. The web client is new, so the web client from home, any browser that you open up, you can point to the URL that we'll provide as a part of the Facilis URL family for your particular location. You'll have to forward a port, through your router, either secure or non-secure port, depending on what you want. And then you can get all of that from home. All the activities, you can proxy on demand, you can download files, you can download source as well as proxy files through the web client or through the desktop client in the facility. So all of these things, show that we're in a place today with our asset management system where we can enable a lot of workflows that just weren't possible in the past with our system or many other systems either, without a whole lot higher price tag and a whole lot higher complexity. So just take that as something to take a look at, and anytime asset management comes up as a part of a shared storage system, think about FastTracker, think about all the work we've done over the past couple of years. Just to finish up here, I want to talk about the cloud and LTO. Everyone's talking about remote access. Remote access via VPN, we make very simple. We put out some VPN tech notes early on about how to enable our shared storage software and our client software to be usable over VPN. And we also use cloud, and cloud's a great way to go because everything is backed up to the cloud, so if the network happens to have a problem at the facility, you can still work because all that data is up in the cloud, and that just synchronizes with the remote workstation via just bucket interface on the workstation. The virtual cache volume is really the key behind Object Cloud. Object Cloud, Object LTO, it looks like any other volume in the system, but all the contents exist somewhere else. It's really object storage on your desktop. So if I move something into a folder, if that folder is set to go to the cloud, that file goes to the cloud and is then synchronized with other locations. And that synchronization can happen in a couple ways. Just a standard bucket on the desktop or an expand drive instance of a hard drive on the desktop of the Mac at home, or we can use our Facilis Edge. And Facilis Edge is our sort of premium offering when it comes to synchronization of multiple locations. So I have a cloud account that I'm set up at the facility. I have an Edge workstation at someone's home, which is a PC, which is just licensed. And I licensed that PC to have a copy of the cache volume. So the cache volume is identical in the facility and on that user's desktop. And then I have something called an Edge node, which could be a Facilis Edge node, or it could be a generic Edge node that just can be a mini HP or an Intel NUC or something that sits at the editor's home and shares out the cache volume to their laptop or their Mac, and it gives them the exact same path as they'd have in the facility working on that cache volume. So this gives you a way to fully bidirectionally synchronize everything going on in the remote workstations to what's going on in the facility cache volume. And then finally, all the things we do are done through just a couple interfaces. We don't need 10, 15 interfaces to get into all these different functions. Volume management interface and the asset management interface, and that's it. Everything else is not required because we can do things through the asset management system to set up the archive, to set up the cloud, to set up the LTO. And once that's set up, you just have your file movements and your file archive, and everything is all set. So just keep in mind, very little training, very simple, easy to get your head around exactly what these things do. Our product family, as you've probably seen, since early 2019, we've had our Hub family, Facilis 8, Hub 16, Hub 32 with the XP16, Hub 1 stacks like some of our larger customers and higher profile customers use, our SSD and hybrid servers. You know, all of the things we're talking about today is in the interest of selling these, you know, so we want to sell these servers, get them into people's workflows, get them yearly coming back to us for new software, new ideas about how they can work.
If you look on the slide, you'll see how to contact Versatile. And if you have any additional questions, feel free to reach out to me. So I appreciate everyone's time. Thank you, Jim and Shane, and thank you all for taking the time to learn about Facilis today. We wish everyone the best. Stay healthy and stay safe.
Thanks, everybody. Take care.
Thanks. Take care.
Bye-bye.